Well, I already made a video for this, and when I posted it, took 15 minutes to process. When I posted it, no sound. Not sure why. So I'm sorry these are already written, but I will explain them as we go. So let's go ahead and do the last three of finding a common denominator for division. So here the common denominator was 45. So notice I multiplied both the first numerator and denominator by 9. And to make this into 45, I have to multiply them both by 5. So 27 over 45 divided by 5 over 45. And then we do 27 divided by 5, 45 divided by 45. That's 1. So I just take this and turn it into a fraction, 27/5. And so then I was explaining in the last video, you should see a pattern. The denominator goes away every time, and that's because we made a common denominator. So really your answer is just your first numerator divided by your second numerator. So you should be able to go straight there because you know this is going to be 1. So just cover it up and you say, oh, okay, that's 27/5. Which it is. So on these last two, when I was doing them on the soundless video, we went straight to that point. So you're going to see that here. So 2 and 3, common denominator is 6. So multiply numerator and denominator by 3 to make that 6. Multiply numerator and denominator by 2 to make that 6. So we get 9, 6 divided by 8, 6. 9 divided by 8 is your answer, because 6 divided by 6 is 1, and it just goes away. And 9/8 can't be simplified. Remember what I said about order. Order matters. Division is not commutative. You can't switch the order. So the first one has to be the numerator, the second one the denominator. And then same thing here. We had another common denominator of 6. So I multiplied numerator and denominator by 2. Numerator and denominator here by 3 to make that 6. And so I get 4, 6 divided by 3, 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. So it goes away. So my answer is 4 over 3. And that does not simplify either. So that would be my final answer. So remember, I'm teaching you 3 different ways to do the same thing. We started with the Cuisenaire rods. That was to get kind of a visual understanding of division. So this is called the common denominator method, which I'm guessing if you guys are like me, a lot of you have not seen it. I had never seen this until the Common Core stuff came in. But anyway, so this is method 2, and then we're going to learn method 3 on the next 2 pages. And yes, I made a mess when I was writing the rules here. So this is the algorithm that most of you have learned throughout your many years in mathematics. Notice I was talking and wrote the wrong thing. So this is the rule for division. This is called the algorithm, what you learn when you very first learned it. So you change everything to a fraction. That means we can't have any mixed numbers, just like in multiplication where we couldn't have any mixed numbers. And then I had a student come up with this. They're like, it's like KFC, but it's KCF. So the rule is keep the first fraction. C stands for change to multiplication. F is flip the second fraction. So why we came up with that is because one day I was going, why are you guys flipping the first fraction? We never flip the first fraction. So we're like, let's come up with an acronym to help us remember which one to flip. So keep the first fraction, change division to multiplication, flip the second fraction. And then now that it's a multiplication, because C is changed to multiplication, then we multiply straight across and simplify. So the minute I see these are all division down here, I write division and I put my little acronym to help me. You'll never use KCF for multiplication. You'll never use it for addition or subtraction. It's purely a division acronym. So you're going to see we're going to get all the same answers we just got on the last page when we were dividing using common denominators. So we're going to get all the same answers. Actually, it was 2 pages ago. So we're going to redo these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 problems. But instead of doing common denominators, we're going to do this algorithm. And you're going to see, look at the answers, 2, 6, 1/3. They all come out the same. So you get to pick which method you want to use. So if you learned this in middle school or high school and you like this way and you don't want to change, go for it. I'll never ask you to use a specific method. You get to pick those. So step 1 was change everything to a fraction. So I changed 1 into 1/1. And then my acronym comes into play. I'm going to use a paper because I don't like having all the other ones hanging out. So keep the first fraction. C stands for change to multiplication. F is flip the second fraction. So it's 1/1 times 2/1. Now it's just a multiplication problem, so we get to follow what we did in the last section in lesson 6. Multiply straight across. 1 times 2 is 2, over 1 times 1 is 1, and then simplify. 2 divided by 1 is 2. So keep, change, flip after we've made them both fractions. So that's step 1, is make everything a fraction first. So if it's a mixed number, you make it a fraction. If it's a whole number, you make it a fraction. So on the next one, they're already both fractions. So then I say in my head, keep the first fraction, change to multiplication, flip the second fraction. So only the second fraction gets flipped, not the first. Multiply straight across. 18/3. And there's our 6. And if you look back 2 pages, like I said, you'll see those are the same answers we got from finding common denominators. Look at the first 2 answers, 2 and 6, because we're doing the same problems. We're just doing a different method. Because some students will go, well, I don't know which method to use. What if I get it wrong? You won't. All the methods give the same answer, whether we're using rods, common denominators, or keep, change, flip. They'll all yield the same answer. Okay, the next one is a nice simple one again, because we have just 2 simple fractions. So keep the first fraction, change to multiplication, flip the second fraction, and then we get 3/9. And they weren't both even, but they are both divisible by 3. So then I divided them both by 3, because this is the simplified column. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay, so let's do this last one. So let's bring our KCF down here so we have it to look at. So keep the first fraction, and notice they're already both fractions, so I don't have any work to do at the beginning. There isn't a whole number or mixed number. So keep the first fraction, change to multiplication, flip the second fraction. Multiplying straight across, 18/12. We notice they were both even, so we divided by 2. And got 18 divided by 2, 9, 12 divided by 2, 6. But then they simplify again because 3 goes into both of these. So never stop after the first simplification, because lots of times they will simplify again. Sorry, I got pin all over here, food or something. So divide by 3, 9 divided by 3 is 3, 6 divided by 3, 2. So those are easy when they're both fractions. Now we're going to work on some that aren't as easy because they'll be mixed numbers and we have to change them first. So let's go ahead and look at the first one. Let me lower it down. Okay, so this is just a continuation of those same problems we did earlier. So the minute I see a division sign, I write KCF. But now one or both of our fractions are going to be mixed numbers. So step one from the other side said, write everything as a fraction. So that has to be your first step, is to write everything as a fraction. So in multiplying, we learned how to do this in lesson 6. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 1 is 4 over 3. Keep, change to multiplication, flip your second fraction. And then we get 36 over 3. And 3 goes into both of those. So we can do a 36 divided by 3 is 12. So a little bit more work when they're mixed numbers, but not that much work. So we are only going to do one more on this video. So if you guys would stop this one right now and do the next one on your own, just to make sure that you are understanding this and can do one on your own. So do the next one and then turn the video back on and you can check it. Okay, so turn it off right now. Okay, so keep the first fraction, change to multiplication, but then I look and go, oh, that's a mixed number. I don't know how to do a reciprocal of a mixed number. So I need to make it improper first. So 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So when I flip it, I'm going to flip this one, not that. You can't flip a mixed number. It's not possible. It was never defined. So first make it improper. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3 over the same denominator. Then flip it, and you get 2 over 6. Both are divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then the last two problems are on the next video. Bye.